Hey guys, my name is Weds, and today on behalf of the Emperor, I'm gonna give you a quick guide and tips on Warhammer 40K Darktide. So without further ado, let's go and start this. In any case, whenever you launch your game, you're gonna see this little screen right there, or you might not, but your intention is going to be just to hit play. But I suggest you just go to the settings. Now, you don't have to do this, but I suggest you just do it. Whether you're playing on PC or whenever the console version comes out and you want to do it, you want to do the same thing. You want to just go to the setting and make sure your setting is good to go. So we're not going to do that right now. So we're just going to go to the play. Now, after you hit play, you're going to have to deal with a bunch of loadout screen and stuff like that. But eventually, you're going to end up on this screen right here. As you can see right now, we are on the screen where you can create your characters. So I already created 4 characters, and there's a 5th one that you can create. So this tells me that the game might come up with another character beside those 4 that exist in the game right now. But I am playing with controller. You can play with your mouse and keyboard if you're a PC guy, but I'm a console guy. But we're gonna just create a character. So if you go to create a character, then you're gonna come up with this option right here. Now, I'm not gonna create a character today, but I'm just gonna show you the option. Now, if you are wondering which character that you need to play, I am going to tell you that it's gonna be based on your preference and what kind of playstyle that you like. But I have to tell you that a lot of people will fall in love with this Psyker, because they might have seen some good gameplay on YouTube and then they decide, okay, this is a character. But I'm here to tell you, you should not pick this character as your first one. Why, you ask? Well, because the Emperor says so. No, I'm just kidding. But this character is one of the squishiest characters. This is a glass cannon character, meaning you are prone to die a lot, especially when you don't know the character. So you would need to learn this character before you just wanna go and play with this character. So my suggestion is the best character for you to start with is the Preacher. Now, this is just simply my opinion and probably the opinion of a lot of people. A lot of people don't pay attention to this character, but in my opinion, as far as the game is concerned, this is the best character for a new player to play, because this is the toughest character in the game. That's the one that can take the biggest punch. Even comparing to the Ogre, this character is like tanky as hell because he's got more health than anybody else, and you are the one that's gonna go in there and then slash the hell out of everybody. So I suggest you start with this character, and then after you level up this character to the max level, then you can just go and play the Psyker. Psyker was my first character, but I switched to the Zealot because it's a better character to start and leveling up with. So like I said, I'm not gonna create a character, but if you want to create a character, just go through the process and create your character and you should be fine. All right guys, now that you have created your character, you're happy with your character, then you play the prologue and stuff like that. Then you're gonna end up in the Mourningstar, which is this big giant ship right here. And then when you come in here, there are many things for you to look into, but the most important thing as a new player that I would suggest that you do is make sure you go to the training. Now, the game is going to ask you to go to the training anyway, but you might decide that you want to skip that, but do not skip the training. So if you want to go to the training, and this is where you want to go, and you come right here. So this is the Psychanium, whatever you want to pronounce, and you got basic, additional, and all the training. Just go through all the training. They're gonna go by stages, and so at the end you're gonna end up with this one, which is where everybody will just go to actually practice with their character. So I suggest you actually just go do that and learn the enemies and stuff like that. So here in the meat grinder, this is where you're gonna encounter all different type of characters. They are in the game, so if you want to learn all the enemies in the game, then just come here and then just look at them, just use your weapons against them, and that way you can familiarize yourself with the game and the enemies, and then you will be fine. Now, since we are in here, I can talk about the screen that you see in front of you. Now, when you are playing the game, you need to pay attention to what's on the screen. Now what you see right there on the screen to your left, you see a character and there's 2 bars. The top one is 112 for me and the bottom one is 200. The 200 is your health. That's 200 you get for this character right here, the preacher. He's got the highest out of all the characters. And then the 112 is your shield or toughness. So once you lose your toughness, then you are going to go into your health, and once you lose your health, then you die. So you can just keep regenerate your toughness for different situation in the game, so you have to worry about that and your play style and stuff like that. Now for this character, it's got his special, what you see right here where it says F, like if you were playing with a computer. Now if I use my my controller, then it's the right bumper for me. Then as you can see right now, so you can use your special to do the special move for that character. And for this character, for instance, the reason why I say this is one of the better characters to start with, this one is the character that can go and just slash the hell out of enemy. You can just go in the fray of combat without worrying too much, and then you will be fine because you're tough as hell. But your special move is when you go and do this, you can go here, can just close the gap with enemies. So if there is an enemy, like an elite enemy that you want to close the gap with, you can just be the character that goes in there and then just go and slash the hell out of that elite or the specialist. So that's the reason why I say you need to learn the type of character, because those are the one that's going to give you problems when you are doing a mission. That's why I say if you play this character, then you are good to go to actually just go and close the gap with those enemy, and you will be fine. Now let's continue to talk about what you see on the screen. On the very far right, you have your grenade, you have your melee weapon, and you also have your range weapon. Now every character is going to be different. Some characters have grenades, and then the Psyker has something that you call brain burst. So instead of having a grenade, they have something called a brain burst. So if you want to learn the Psyker, just whenever you play with the Psyker, just go to the training and you should be good to go. Now if I go inside the weapons real quick, so for instance, if I go into this right here and I am going to look at the weapon. So for instance, my melee weapon is this weapon right here. It's a chainsaw. Now for this character that I'm using, the chainsaw is very powerful, but there are some other weapons that are very powerful for this character, which is one of the reasons why I say should be your first character that you try to play with. Now for my second weapon, I have the flamer. This is one of the better weapons for this character. So that's the reason why I say this character is very powerful. Not only that, you have some very good weapon, but you're also a beast when it comes to melee range combat. Now when we talk about weapon, there are a lot more going on in the weapon that you would think about, but since we are here on the weapon screen, I'm going to show you, for instance, this weapon right here. Now most weapon depends on the type of the weapon or the rarity of the weapon. You can see that there's a rating, and then there's also those little symbols right here. Now those little symbols right here, you may not know what they signify. So if you don't know what they mean, so when you inspect the weapon, for instance, let me switch to my controller. So when you now in the weapon inspection, you can see all the symbol right here, and then they tell you exactly what they do, what they represent, and that way you have an idea what exactly this weapon can do, and then you can use it the right way. So beside having all the stats right here, there's also those symbols that are very important. It tells you exactly what the weapon is. We're not going to go in depth into that, but I just want you to know that this exists in the game. All right, now we came back from the training area, so we are back in the Mourningstar and orientation time. So orientation time, when you first drop into the game, you look to your right. This is where you go to actually go to the training area, but right in front of you, you have this area right here. You can check this character. It tells you the level that you need to be on to in order to interact with those characters. And then to the left of it, you can just go there, and then this is the favorite spot that you need to actually just frequent a lot of time, every time after a mission. This is the armory exchange. That's where you can buy weapons. You can buy those curious thing, that you can use to enhance your character or to make your character a lot better. Like for instance, if we look at what this guy is selling right here, you might find a better weapon than what you have, and you can buy it, and then for a higher level and stuff like that, and you should be good to go. So that's what this is for. And then you can just use those curious things to put in your character. I'm going to show you exactly when I get to the part where I show you the feat that you have for your builds, and then what this does exactly. So you can just go to the weapon and then see if you have enough resources, then you can buy what you want, and then that way you can go on your merry way and slash the hell out of the enemy. So that's this guy right here. I say this is important because you can use this while you're leveling up and to make your character better and have a lot more fun. Now to the other side of this, you have this one right here, the Commander's Vesture. This is the actual shop, the cosmetic shop that you can use to actually make your character look better, but it's gonna cost you real money. So I know there's a lot of controversy about this because whenever there's monetization in the game, people are not always very happy, especially if the condition really don't satisfy their needs. But this is there for you if you want to spend some money, support the game. This is where you can come and do that. So now let's talk about when you need to worry about your builds, what you need to focus on, and all that kind of stuff. Now let's see if we go here. As you can see on the screen right here, we have the loadout. This is where we already showed you this. We got our weapons, and then we also have the courier thing right here, or couriers, whatever they call them. You start getting those when you hit level 8. At level 8, you'll be able to buy this. Now the one that I have right here, as you can see, if I show you real quick, this one right here gives me 2% experience. So I would say when you start leveling up, just pay attention to when you get to level 8 and try to go to the store and look for one of those. That way you can level up a lot faster because you get some experience percentage to make things go faster. Now, and that's that, and your build weapon and stuff like that. Now you got cosmetic, and this is what I was talking about. You can go buy stuff in the shop, or you can get them from game and stuff like that. Now the most important thing is feats. Now the feats are where you need to focus on to get your build going. Now when you're creating your builds to enhance your character, you're gonna have to level up first. When you get to level 5, you'll be able to use the first column, and then you can choose whichever one fits your play style or whatever you like. And then you get level 10, 15, 20, 25, and 30. So at each level, you'll be able to choose one of those options to actually enhance your character's performance. And that's what this is all about. Anyway, that's all for this. Next thing is the crafting area. So if you go from the beginning where you first dropped, so if you come right here, and then you can just right here, you have the crafting station. Now for the crafting station, it is not a complete system yet. As you can see, the only thing you can do right now is the consecrate. Now if you need to find more information about the crafting system, I will leave a link in the description, and you have an idea what everything does. So right now you have consecrate, that's the only thing that's available. You also have the refine item, earn blessing, and rebless. All those options that you have for crafting that you can use in the game, but those are not really there yet. It's just the only thing you can do is just the consecrate one. And if you go through this, let's go through this real quick. And if you go through here, it shows you what you can do, what consecration does. It gives you a new perk on the weapon, and then you also upgrade the weapons to a different rarity. So as you can see, it goes from the green color to actually the blue or purple color, whatever color that is. I am colorblind. And then if you want to do this, then you can just go and use those resources and confirm it, and then you should be fine. But that's what that is. That's the only option that you have right now. So let's get out of there. So by now you should familiarize yourself with the mission terminal. So when you go in there, you have all those mission options. There are different type of mission that you can do at different levels. As a new player, I suggest you just stick with the level 1 missions to level up until you get stronger. Then you can actually just go and do bigger and better things. But me personally, I normally just go to quick play and then just get some mission going and then just level up as much as I can until I get to the highest level possible. So that's what I do. But you know, you have all these other options that you can just go through. So as a new player, just stick with level 1 and maybe 2 if you feel like you can do it, and then just go with that. Now, talking about mission, if we go to the screen right here, we already go to operative, so we go to penance. Whenever you are doing those missions, you have those little tasks that you can do to actually earn credits. So if you just complete them, I just play the game and a lot of time you just see they completed. But if you want to see what they are, just come here in penances and then you can see what they are asking you to do. And if you want to focus on that, you can, and you get a credit. Sometimes you get cosmetics and sometimes you get other stuff. So that's what that is all about. And then for the social part, if you come here, this is where you can see your friends that are online, and then you can also see missions that you already did, who you did them with. And then here, the Mourningstar, this is where you can see who is actually in the game right now and that you can just invite to play with. So if you see someone that you want to play with, it doesn't matter, you just look at the level where you want to make sure that they are about the same level or whatever, and then just go in and click on the person, and then you just go and then either you want to try to join them or invite them to play with you. A lot of time you're going to find people that invite you to actually play with them. So that's all that is. Now go to the option in the beginning when I tell you that, you know, some people just go straight to play, but where you can go to settings. So if you didn't go to the settings in the beginning, then you can just come back here. So now right here, the first thing is the interface. You can just go in there and then just change what you want to change. In the interface, there's not much for you to change, so you know, it's whatever you want to do. And then for the audio, same thing. You just, if you want to go through there. Now for the video, something that you might want to change is like your field of view. For me personally, I just put it all the way to the max, but you can, some people just maybe put it at like 80 or whatever. So I like the field of view to be the highest as possible for me. And then for me, since I'm playing on a computer, just whatever you want to do, really. So I'm just going to show you real quick. And then the one important thing that when I'm playing the game, I noticed that the game is really dark, especially when you are in those missions in some of these areas. So you can just come in here and just change the brightness to a comfort level that you feel comfortable with. So that's what I would do in my opinion. So, and then other things that you can see, I'm just going through right here. So it's just a matter of what you want to do. People playing on PC worry about the frame rate and stuff like that. So it depends on the monitor that you are using and stuff like that. You can see the option that I have here. Ray tracing is off and stuff like that. I don't mess too much with that thing. I just switch certain things that I feel like that is important to my opinion. So I put motion blur off and stuff like that. Anyway, back to the input. For the input, you know, you can make some changes as a controller player. The only one I make a change with is the hold to sprint. When it was on, it was acting kind of weird, so I just put it off. It's easier to actually control when you're trying to sprint in this game, because everything takes stamina in the game. So if you don't have stamina, you can't really sprint fast anyway. But as a controller player, you can just check them out and see what you want to do, and you are going to be fine. Now everything else, if you want to just switch your character, you can just do it here. And then the other option is just to quit the game. Now I quit the game right now. Anyway guys, that's all I wanted to cover. I was trying to make it as short as possible. Hopefully everything that I covered is enough information for you to go out there and start killing it. Anyway, thanks for watching. I will see you guys in the next one.